guys, welcome to my video. And to answer your question, no, it's not winter. Move cat. It is actually really cold in here. My husband likes to keep it like freezing, and so I have to wear this. Anyway, today I'm going to be talking about what it's like being in a mental hospital. Now, the reason why I'm doing this video is because I have actually been in a mental hospital. Now, it's not something I really want to talk about, but it's been a few years, so I think I'm comfortable talking about it now. I'll leave out, of course, the names and details of the place I went to, but just to give you a basis of what it's actually like being in a mental hospital. Now, you've seen movies about like insane asylums, all that other crazy stuff, and I can't deny that that stuff is true. Because from my experience, I wasn't that bad. Now, the mental hospital I went to was close to where I lived at the time. I searched up the closest one, and they... So this is my natural habitat, and by that I mean sleep. I love to sleep, and I spend, I would say, 90% of my time in here. And this is my friend. This is Panda. Creative names. I named him Toby because I always wanted a corgi. But this isn't almost about him. This isn't about my little furry friends back here. Connor.
It's me, Connor.
These aren't about my furry friends today. But if you ever want to know how I got all these stuffed animals, I'll probably post another video next month or something. Now, the backstory of why I was there is a bit of a long one. First of all, I admitted myself. I wasn't like dragged there or anything like that. I actually went there myself for my own safety. At the time of my first marriage, I found out some unpleasant information about my ex, and when you invest so much time and effort into someone and then they kind of just betray you like that, you're not in the most stable state of mind. And I didn't know what I was going to do. And so I knew what I was trying to do, but that wasn't working. So I decided to check myself into a mental hospital. Now, being there, it kind of felt weird because I wasn't in my right mind. I had been taking a lot of pills, sleeping pills to be precise. Not to the point where it would hurt me or anything, but it was for an alternative motive. So when I got to the hospital, I got there like 12 a.m. in the morning, super late at night. They're still open, of course. I walk through the doors. First thing I notice is when I go through the doors, there's a first set of doors and a second set of doors. The first set of doors, anyone can just walk in. Now, once that door closes, you have a second set of doors, and you have to buzz yourself in somehow. So I had to come on an intercom trying to get someone to answer the door to get in. And it was like, hey, are you here to see someone? And I'm like, no, I'm trying to check in my sleepy state of mind. I'm pretty sure that's what I said. Anyway, I made it into the lobby, and then once those doors closed, you would need an access card to get out. Now, mind you, this is just the lobby. The lobby actually looked really nice. There was a TV, there was a counter. No one was at the counter at the time. Until I walked in, I sat in the lobby, I waited, and then some guy came up to me, professional looking, not like a doctor, but some kind of, I don't know, nurse. But anyway, he came in and he asked me to fill out a piece of paper. Because I told him I was checking myself in. And I went and filled out the paper as best as I could. Because to be honest, I didn't know any of this information. I barely knew my name. Is that legal? Can you check in someone who's not coherent that want to go in? I don't know. Either way, I had waited a long time in this other room he put me in. Which, in order to leave, I would also need a key card. Now that was a little bit alarming. I knew that I couldn't. My cat loves my stuffed animals. I knew I couldn't get out on my own. that I've already sealed my fate. But I knew if I went back home, something bad would happen. And at this time, I was living in an apartment, you know. So I didn't want to go back home. So I filled out the paperwork. I waited in the second room for a while until a doctor came in and asked me about the paperwork I filled out. And he was nice about it, you know. He asked me, I don't even remember the questions, to be honest, but he asked me a lot of questions. And finally, I'm like falling out my chair, ready to fall asleep after all those pills. And they finally bring me in. Now at this time, everyone was asleep, I guess. And I'm walking down the hallway. There's like a single light on the desk. They take away my stuff. Like, they take away phones, technology, keys, everything you have on your person. My wallet. At the time, I didn't really think about it. I was thinking, I'll probably only be here for a day or so. That's not how it works. When you check yourself in, even if you were dragged here by a hospital or a police officer, that's not how it works. They take your stuff away, and you don't know how long you're going to be there. So they took away my stuff, and they put it in this little locker that only they can access. They have the key. They said everything's safe. No one's going to touch anything. It's my stuff. I can only access it with their supervision. I can't access any phones, any methods of communication, any of that. Now, that's a bit alarming since I've never been here before. It's not like I looked up reviews. I just went to this place. And as I continue on giving my stuff, they take me to another room where this lady has me undress. Now, I didn't know what that was about. I thought I'd be able to keep my clothes on. Of course, I'm sleepy. I'm tired. I'm just going to do pretty much anything. I really wanted to go to bed. I wanted to go to sleep. I was so tired and mentally exhausted from everything I've tried to do that day. Not thinking about work or anything like that. So I, take it off. I take off everything. They even made me take out my piercings. Now, you don't know that I have so many piercings, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on my ears. 2 other places you don't even know about. And, of course, I got my belly button pierced. And then I had 2, I only have 1 lip piercing at the time. So, it was a new piercing, and I had to take it out. Regardless, I had to take them out. I couldn't keep them in, so I knew those were going to be gone by the time I got out of here. Because even if I left them out for a few minutes, it would already start closing. So, after I took that out, they put it in a bag. They put it in a bag and put it in my locker. So I wasn't able to have my own clothes. They give me a medical gown. Now, I didn't like that. Medical gown? I mean, I get it. I'm in a mental hospital, but I don't think I need a medical gown, per se. But, okay. I had nothing else to wear, so now I got a medical gown. So, I get that and some interesting socks. And they had me come out. They actually had me sit down in a chair, and they took my blood. I didn't see that coming. Maybe because I was on something. But they took my blood, and I don't know what they used it for, but I guess they were just checking my health and seeing how I was doing. I guess not mentally, obviously, but they were checking my physical health to see if I was going to need some medical attention. I guess I didn't, because I didn't hear anything else about it. They showed me my room, which was all the way down the hall next to the exit door that I came in. Now, more on that later. But, so I get to my room, and I see someone sleeping there at the first door, and I'm next to the window, which was nice. Of course, I don't get a choice to open or close the windows. It's actually fixated somehow. So I get in bed. They let me sleep. I sleep all the way through the next day. But there's a time where we have to get up. They left me alone because it was my first night, I think. But there is a time we all have to get up and get out of the rooms. They lock the doors behind us. So the next morning, I wake up, finally, and there's no one in the room. So I guess the other, person that was in my room had already gone out. I think I get out and I look around, and then I go back in my room. Because to me, it was the shock of knowing that I actually did it. That I came in Most people are like, oh yeah, good for you. You know, you took the steps to make sure you live to the next day. And really, that wasn't what was hard on me at that moment when I woke up. It was the fact that I was so depressed. I was so depressed. I did not know what to do with myself, where to go. You know how when you're in that kind of relationship, you always blame yourself first. You don't ever blame anyone else. I don't mean to get emotional with you guys, but you never blame anyone else, especially when it's not your fault. So I was blaming myself, and I was sulking, and I cried a couple of times. And then they finally actually came and got me, saying it's time to eat. So they have certain meal times that we all go down and eat. They have different groups around the hospital that go and eat. I was in, I guess, the floor group where we had, I guess, roughly 20, 30 people. It didn't seem like that much. It might have been just 15. I don't know. I wasn't really paying that much attention. So we all go down in groups. We have to go in single file line. Can't take anything with us. Can't take anything back. We go eat. We get our trays. Free food, whatever. Of course, it was kind of like food from a cafeteria from school. But not on the good days. Never the good days. It's either this hard piece of bread, like you're convicts or something. Which, I mean, some of us maybe. Some questionable people around there. But, all in all, it was food. And it didn't taste gross, but it didn't really have much of a taste. It tasted more like plastic. If I was eating anything good, it would be considered as good as plastic. But, we eat. Some people would share their stuff if they were really close. They'd be like, hey, you want to switch? Kind of like a little auction going on. But the thing is, you couldn't go back for seconds. Who would want to? But, I guess the more hungry, bigger people would want to go back for seconds. I didn't. I actually didn't want to eat that first day. When you're depressed, you don't want to eat, you don't do anything, you just want to sleep. Well, I didn't have the option to keep sleeping, so I probably nibbled on some bread and then threw it away. Of course, I kind of regretted that later because my body did feel hungry later on. And I think we get 3 meals a day. There's, I think breakfast. I think it's a breakfast, lunch, and dinner kind of deal. Each thing, I think, lasts about 30 minutes to an hour. And then when everyone's done, we leave. Unless you're just that one person that just takes forever, we're going to leave. But we all got to leave together. There was also out there next to the cafeteria outside is this enclosed, maybe like the size of my room, patio. Fake grass, chairs and a table, but it's the smoking area. So anyone who wants to smoke, they can get their pack of cigarettes that I guess they have brought with them and smoke. Some people bump some off of other people. Heck, even the supervisors had some cigarettes on them. They would go out and smoke with them, and then they'd come back, and then we'd all leave together as a group. Once we got back upstairs, it was either free time or sit down in a circle and discuss your feelings time. Now, being it was my first day there, I didn't feel much like talking. There was couches, chairs, some people sat on the floor. I found a remote little corner of a couch, and I kind of just sat there, just like hearing everyone talk and stuff. I was kind of in my own world, kind of paying attention, kind of not. We had these little handouts to participate, and I didn't really feel like much like participating. So eventually they'll go down the line. If you want to answer, you can. But as the days go on, you're kind of required to answer some of the questions to help dig deeper into your issues. You don't have to say specifics, but whatever's going on, they want you to try to talk about it. Now, me being the way I was, or if you don't know a little bit about me, I am the quiet type, or I was the quiet type. Sometimes I think I talk a little bit too much. So, at this time I was just really quiet, and I didn't really have much to say, but every once in a while I found myself tearing up, and I have to turn aside and cry, and I hoped that no one would notice. And sometimes they'll stop the little meeting, they'll skip me because I was, kind of crying. They'll give me tissues and stuff. It's kind of like an AA meeting, but without the alcohol. without the alcohol. I know that's like the best part. No, but we didn't have the alcohol. And aside, we really couldn't eat or drink anything. Aside from breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Let me tell you about the rooms. So, I used to try to spend as much time in the rooms as possible until they have to close the doors behind us and we have to participate and be social and be out in the lobby. Now, in the rooms, they had thought of everything, and I mean everything. Like, if you were suicidal, which I was, but not in there. I didn't want, I was at home. If you were suicidal, they thought of everything. There was no ropes, no strings, no door handles, no ceiling lights, no fans, nothing that you can dangle from. Not even in the shower. And nothing you can drown yourself from either. Good luck closing the doors. It was like nearly impossible. I don't even think there was a door. Or at least the door handle was something very, very... whatever you put on there would probably just slip off. But the showers, they were annoying. You had to press in a button, and it had a timer of like 15 seconds, and then it shuts off. So, if you're washing your hair, good luck. But that aside, I mean, there's really not much privacy, because they could just walk in whenever. They didn't treat you bad, though. I think it was like more of a Christian facility than anything. They didn't, of course they didn't allow cursing, yelling, stuff like that. But there are also those people that do. Let me tell you about my roommate. So I went through 2 roommates since I'd gotten there, and I was there for about a month. It doesn't seem that long, but it felt like forever. I was there for about a month, and my first roommate, she was, let's just say she wasn't so, wait, was it her? I think it was my first roommate. Yeah, okay, this is my first roommate. Now this was my first experience here. At first she slept, she left. My first roommate, she was actually more crazy than sane. And I think I was on the floor where most of the people were coherent. Like, we knew what we were doing. We have a chance to redeem ourselves, basically. But this girl, she was insane. Like, when she got upset, she would yell and scream and throw a fit. And no one wanted to be near her. She was like, they have to come and put her down physically. They would have to hold her down. And that's the first time that I've ever seen anything related to the movie, or a movie, where they had to put medicine in them. She had to hold her down, put medicine in, and I watched her go out. And it was crazy, because it was in the room. And I didn't know what to do, how to feel. I just, like, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to go crazy. I don't want them to have to put me down, because Lord knows what they'll do to you. Even though, it seemed like a generally credible place, I didn't want to take that chance. And I wasn't going to go crazy anyway, but I didn't want to, what if I went to a crying fit? What if I just snapped? And I don't know. But she got put down, and after a couple days of her not, like, messing up and stuff, she was still kind of mad, thinking, and my mom had actually come to give me some stuff from my apartment. I had a spare key. I had always given her a spare key. And she went to get some of my clothes, and she brought me some, so Wonder Woman pajamas and stuff like that. It's been a couple years before Wonder Woman became popular. It was some comic pajamas that I loved. Actually, she bought those for me, and then she brought some other clothes that I would wear. And one morning, I found them missing. Not the shirt, but the bottoms. My bottoms were missing. I'm like, I know where I put my stuff. I have a corner of clothes that I fold up neatly and put away. My shorts, my pants were missing, and I was not happy. Like, I had to actually professionally go and talk to the desk lady. I'm like, has anyone been to my stuff? And she's like, no, we don't go through your stuff. I'm like, I think my stuff is missing. She's like, what are you missing? A pair of shorts. Well, when they had taken away the girl, she had taken my shorts. So they had moved her to a different, higher level of floor where they were crazier, and she had taken my stuff with her. Namely just the shorts. I don't know if there was anything else missing, but it was mainly just the shorts. And a couple days later, voila, they found my shorts in her possession. So, of course I had my stuff go get washed. They washed it. I'm like, I don't want to wear someone else's stuff. But yeah, they had washed my stuff. And for a while, I didn't have a roommate. It was nice and quiet. Of course, I don't feel easy about sleeping in the dark, so I leave the bathroom light on. I leave that cracked so I can, see the dark. But for a while, I didn't have a roommate. And then some other girl got admitted, and she was actually pretty cool. She was a little bit too happy for my taste, but she was actually pretty cool. She had a history, she had a daughter with a granddaughter. She didn't really look that old. Maybe she was like mid-40s. Mid-40s. I don't know. But she was pretty alright. We kind of became friends. We're still friends to this day. We don't talk that much, but she's still my friend. And I met a couple other friends too, but she was really the best roommate I had out of the two. Definitely. She kept to her side, but the only thing about her is she snored. I mean, my husband snores, but she really, really snores. And that kind of I don't know. That didn't help me sleep at night at all. And she wouldn't even sleep in the bed. She slept on the couch, sofa arm thing over there. And I'm like, why don't you just sleep in the bed? How's that comfortable? But, I think at I've been through there a couple weeks, and it kind of just flew by. I got more and more open on the couch sessions, talking to them about, how things went. I also encouraged other people. I was starting to become myself again. And then every once in a while, they'll take you into a separate room with a counselor or a psychiatrist, and they'll evaluate you of how you're doing mentally. Now, the first 4 or 5 times, I guess I didn't pass, or they didn't think I could be let out anytime soon, or they thought they'd give it a bit. Because they probably thought I was pretending, because, I'm pretty good at pretending. I was actually plotting, because those key cards, that door, yeah, I was plotting. I was like, if I can just get the key card. But then I was like, no. It's okay. You're not a convict, You entered here voluntarily. You're not a convict. So I was like, let me just play it out cool, go through the sessions, get an approval, get some signatures. But the thing is, my medicine doctor, I didn't even tell you about the medicine. So, my medicine doctor, I guess, thought I wasn't taking my medicine. The medicine was for depression, but I think it was also for something else. I had 2 pills that I was taking, and I don't know, he wouldn't sign the paperwork for me to be let go. And that kind of, upset me a bit. I didn't act out or anything, but he didn't want me to be like, my psychiatrist, she thought I was fine. I was good. But he thought there was still more work needed to be done on my behalf. So I had that's the reason why I was there a whole month. I think after 2 weeks, I was good. After 2 weeks, I was good to go. I bounced back, I was fine. But he wanted me to stay. So it took a while for him to sign the paperwork after I got a meeting with him. And he was like, okay, I think you're good. We'll get these reviewed and we'll see if I can get you out of here. Man, that was the longest few days to a month ever. Like, that paperwork took forever. Then finally, when they were reading out, basically, talking to people aside, said, hey, you're free to go, I was happy. I was like, ugh, but I was so worried because at the time I left, I had filled up my cat bowl. You see, I have these 2 lovely, beautiful kitties here. You can't see the other one, but I'll show you in a minute. I filled up their food and their water. She had just had kittens, so I didn't know if they were even alive or healthy or if she abandoned them. I left the back porch open. Because the kittens weren't old enough to walk, so Cleo would have had to take care of them by herself. But I let the back door open, so if any of the cats just wanted to bolt, they could have. So I didn't know what waited for me at home. I asked my mom to check on them. She told me they were fine before, but it's been a while since she had checked on them and filled their food and stuff. So I get out to the checkout room, and it's that same room that you're locked in with a key card until you pay. Like, I didn't realize I was going to have to pay. I didn't think that through, but thank God for insurance. So my insurance actually covered it all, but I didn't know it at the time. So I ended up paying, doing a payment plan, and then a couple months later, after I finished paying the payment plan, they tell me, oh, your insurance, not my parents, my insurance paid for it all. So they ended up giving me that money back, which was much needed at the time, as I'm planning to move out and move back into my parents' house after the divorce that I had filed against my ex-husband. But that aside, I had gotten home and they were fine. The kittens were pretty much all opening their eyes. I had to wipe away some kitten years. And Poopy, this boy right here, Poopy was still there waiting for me, and I thought he would have bolted. But he actually, since then, has become my therapy cat. I call him my emotional support animal. I call him my emotional support animal because of multiple reasons. He's actually never abandoned me. He always expected me to come back. And he has this special ability to know when something's wrong. And I think animals are just like that in general, but I just feel like he's special. And if I was to ever lose him, I don't know what I'd do. Okay. So, yeah. So, as I was saying, I don't know what I'd do without Poopy, because I feel like he was the highlight of my world. Even though he doesn't like to be held for too long of a time, he's still a really, really great cat. But I'll probably do another video on my support animal later, because if I can get him to sit still, that'd be great. But yeah, because he's such an amazing cat, and I really wouldn't expect many people to understand unless you've had one. And I'm telling you, I'm not in it for like the benefits. Most people are doing that crazy stuff. But that aside, I came back home and Poopy was still there. And I call him Poopy. His name is really Achilles. Him, the kittens, Cleo, they were all fine. And I was going to resume my life. Work was very lenient at the time. I didn't know anything that was going on. But she didn't care. She was glad I was back and working. And that was probably like the best job I've ever had. Because I was like, hey, I'm back after a month of not showing up to work. And that's pretty much the end of it. But I only did that for a while until at the end of my lease that I ended early, that I went to go and stay back at my parents' house for about a year. And, well, I'm not at my parents' house anymore, and my life so far has been wonderful. I am remarried to the most amazing husband in the world. Our first year anniversary is coming up late this month, and I'm in a different apartment. We're planning on getting a house next year. And I have a fluffy ferret. I've always wanted, and I've been asking for a ferret forever, and he finally got me a ferret for my birthday last year. And I plan to get a corgi when we get into our new house. So everything else is working out really well. I just want to say that if you've ever been through rough times and like bad relationships, and whether it's relationships or family, I'm telling you, don't let yourself give up on you. Because especially if it's not your fault, even if it's your fault, just don't give up. Because things are bound to get so much better. Just live. Just live, and I promise you, God's got a better plan for you. There's so much to this story that I don't think it's appropriate for YouTube, but I just want to thank God that I'm here today. I want to tell someone that God actually saved my life. And yes, I was a Christian before the incident, and I had lost my way in doing those things, but let's just say that I was here for a reason, and I'm still here, and I'm going to continue being that reason. So thank you guys so much for watching my video. Like and subscribe if you want to. Leave comments down below and questions and stuff you think I should do for a video. If you have questions about my emotional support animal, feel free to ask. I'm happy to answer. Alright, see you crazy otakus in the next video. Bye-bye.